Have you ever felt like your relationship is changing, but you're not sure exactly what it is? The truth is, women often don't speak up when their feelings fade. Instead, they show it through subtle signs. As men, we need to be astute enough to recognize these signs, to avoid wasting time and energy on a relationship that has no future. The following 6 signs may indicate that she has fallen out of love with you. Don't ignore even the smallest changes in her behavior. Women often express their emotions through actions more than words. Understanding women's psychology is not about controlling them, but about being able to behave appropriately. By recognizing these signs early, you can proactively have a frank conversation with her, find out the cause, and find a solution together. Or, if the relationship really can't be saved, you'll also easily accept the truth and move on. Don't let her indifference linger. Take the initiative to find out the cause and solve the problem. Remember, silence is not always golden. Sometimes it is a sign of an irreparable rift. Sign 1. Reduced communication. Communication is the foundation of any relationship. When you notice the communication between the two of you gradually fading, it is the first and most important sign of a rift. Communication is not just about exchanging information, but also a means of sharing emotions, thoughts, and deepening emotional connections. If once deep and meaningful conversations are now just short social sentences, or worse, she is no longer interested in listening to your sharing, then this is a warning you cannot ignore. Previously, the two of you could spend hours talking about everything, from small funny stories of the day to big issues, the future of both of you. But now, conversations may only revolve around superficial topics, like social greetings, or even awkward silences. This is not just a simple change in the way you communicate, but also a sign that she no longer wants to share her life with you. Another notable sign is that she no longer reacts emotionally to what you say. Before, whenever you shared a joy, she would respond enthusiastically and show her excitement. Conversely, when you are in trouble, she will comfort and encourage you. But now, whether you talk about a great achievement or a deep sadness, she only responds superficially, or doesn't even notice. It feels like you're talking to a wall instead of the one you love. This is a sign of disconnection that you should not ignore. Also pay attention to the frequency of communication. If she used to actively text, call, or share small moments of the day with you, but now that initiative has completely disappeared, this is an alarming signal. A woman in love will want to maintain a connection with her man, no matter how busy she is. The decrease in the frequency of communication, from no longer texting good morning, no longer asking about your work, or no longer sharing small stories of the day, all show that interest has diminished. Sometimes, reduced communication also manifests in her avoiding deep conversations. If you used to be able to easily talk to her about feelings, future plans, or any personal issues, but now she just wants to keep the conversation superficial, avoiding going into details, then this is also a signal of alienation. She may not want to open up, not want to share, because she no longer sees you as the person she wants to confide in or connect with anymore. Remember, when communication declines, it not only reflects a change in habits, but it is also a manifestation of a growing distance. To overcome this, you need to proactively create deep conversations, show interest, and truly listen. If all your efforts do not bring results, perhaps it is time for you to seriously reconsider the future of this relationship. Sign 2. Emotional withdrawal. Emotional withdrawal is one of the most obvious and easily noticeable signs when a woman is no longer interested in a relationship. It is the loss of once natural, loving gestures, the lack of connection that you can feel immediately in encounters. You feel like she doesn't want to hold hands anymore, doesn't give you warm hugs anymore, and kisses become superficial or disappear altogether. The intimacy you once considered an integral part of the relationship is now just a distant memory. When a woman withdraws emotionally, it's not just intimate gestures that diminish, but also indifference and coldness in her eyes and smile. The moments of looking into each other's eyes that used to bring warmth are now just emptiness. She may look at you without really seeing you, her eyes no longer filled with affection as before, but instead with distance, even indifference. Compliments and attention also gradually disappear, replaced by uncomfortable silence. You can clearly feel that everything between the two of you is gradually cooling down, and the moments you are together become heavier, as if both of you are trying to maintain something that no longer exists. An important part of emotional withdrawal is that she no longer shares with you her deep thoughts, her sincere feelings. If before, she often shared everything with you, from the small worries of everyday life to the big plans for the future, now silence has replaced it all. She no longer tells you about the joys and difficulties she is facing, and you seem to no longer be the person she wants to turn to whenever something happens. This not only creates a distance between the two of you, but also makes you feel alienated, no longer playing an important role in her life. Emotional withdrawal can also be expressed through the way she reacts to your efforts. You try to create interesting conversations, try to reconnect as before, but she only responds indifferently, without enthusiasm. Your efforts to improve the relationship are not well received, but instead are met with boredom and reluctance. You clearly feel that no matter how hard you try, she doesn't want to open up anymore. This can make you feel disoriented, as if all your efforts have become meaningless. Emotional withdrawal not only hurts you, but is also a sign of inevitable breakdown if not addressed in time. Instead of continuing to endure the coldness, you need to face reality. Find a way to talk frankly with her. Ask her about what is going on, whether there is something that makes her no longer feel interested in this relationship. Sometimes, a rift can be healed if both are willing to change and improve together. However, if this withdrawal is a sign that she has decided to end it, you also need to accept and let go, so that both of you have the opportunity to find true happiness. Emotional coldness is not something we should ignore. It is a sign that the connection between the two of you is fading, and if you don't act, this can lead to a complete breakdown. Don't let silence and indifference linger. Take the initiative to find out the cause, talk and find solutions together. If it cannot be saved, accepting the truth and moving on may be the best thing for both of you. Sign 3. Avoiding invitations or appearing busy. One of the most obvious and notable signs that she has lost interest in the relationship is that she often avoids your invitations or always appears busy. This is not just a mere sign of scheduling, but actually reflects the level of priority she gives you in her life. You may have planned a romantic evening or a simple date so that the two of you could spend time together, but she always finds a way to refuse. At first, there may be plausible reasons, such as too busy with work, tired after a long day, or need to spend time with family. But when these reasons appear frequently and repeatedly, you need to realize that this may be a sign that she no longer wants to spend time with you. She may prioritize meeting friends, family, or even other personal activities over spending time with you. In fact, when a woman truly loves and cares, she will find every way to spend time with you, no matter how busy she is. Time is the most precious gift that each person can give to each other. If she no longer wants to share her time with you, this is not just a sign of being busy, but also shows that she is gradually creating distance, deliberately avoiding you. You may realize that your invitations are often no longer met with the same enthusiasm as before. Answers like, "Let's see," "Maybe I'll be busy," or "I'm not sure this week," gradually become catchphrases. This vague, uncertain feeling really confuses you and makes you wonder if you are doing something wrong. But the most important thing is that you need to understand that it is not because you did something wrong, but maybe she no longer feels this relationship is worthy of her investment of time and emotions. Constantly appearing busy is also a way for her to send the message that she wants her own space, doesn't want you to interfere too much in her life. She may be trying to maintain a safe distance between the two of you, avoiding private meetings, avoiding conversations that are too deep. This sometimes also manifests in her no longer actively planning for both of you. If she used to come up with ideas for outings, short trips, now all those things become a burden and she lets you take care of it yourself. In a relationship, when one person no longer wants to meet or spend time with the other, it is a clear sign that they no longer feel joy or meaning in being with that person. For a woman, constantly refusing invitations not only reflects physical busyness, but also emotional rejection. She no longer feels that you are the person she wants to share her life with, no longer the person she wants to spend time with. So, if you feel that your invitations are only met with rejections and excuses, be brave enough to face reality. It may be time for you to have a serious conversation with her, find out the cause, and consider whether this relationship is worth continuing. The important thing is that you should not let yourself get stuck in a loop of lack of interest and indifference. Appreciate yourself and seek a relationship where both are willing to give time and affection to each other. Sign 4. Talking about the future without you. One of the clearest and most heartbreaking signs that she has started to withdraw from the relationship is when she talks about her future, but without your presence. The future is something we always want to build with the one we love. If she starts planning for life, for personal goals that don't include you, it means she no longer sees you as an important part of her life. This can manifest in many different ways. Maybe she mentions wanting to move to a new city to develop her career without consulting you. Or she plans to travel with friends without thinking about you joining. Or she talks about taking a new course, doing things she's passionate about without a partner. These seemingly unintentional sayings are the clearest signal that you are no longer in her future picture. The important thing is that you need to pay attention to these little details. When she talks about going away, about long-term plans without ever mentioning you, that's when you need to seriously ask yourself if this relationship is worth holding on to. If you feel like you're always left out of stories about the future, that's a sign that she's slowly trying to create distance, to prepare for a life without you. These signs can make you feel heartbroken, but they're also an opportunity for you to reevaluate the relationship. You can choose to talk frankly with her about what you are feeling. Sometimes, women don't realize that they are creating distance, and a sincere conversation can help both of you understand each other better. However, if you have tried but do not receive a positive response, perhaps it is time for you to accept the truth and find a way to move on. Don't fool yourself by thinking, maybe she's just busy or she's stressed, so that's why. When a woman truly loves you, she will always want you to be in every plan, no matter how small. Even when she is busy with work or life pressures, she still wants you to be a part of that journey. If this no longer exists, you need to be bold enough to face the truth and make decisions for yourself. Realizing that you are no longer in the future of the one you love is difficult, but it also gives you the freedom to seek true happiness. Remember, you deserve someone who sees you in their future, someone whose every plan, every dream has your presence. Don't settle for being with someone where you are only a part of the past, or worse, someone who only exists in the present but has no place in the future. Sign 5. Withdrawing support. One of the important pillars of any relationship is mutual support. When both share successes and challenges, they grow together and overcome difficulties. However, if she no longer cares about what you achieve or no longer encourages you when you face challenges, that is a clear sign that feelings have faded. Support is not merely about clapping and praising, but about listening, encouraging, and feeling with you. For example, if you have just received a major achievement, such as a promotion, but she only responds with a superficial sentence like, and quickly moves on to another topic, how would you feel? It is emptiness and loneliness, as if what you are trying to achieve is no longer valuable to her. You feel the lack of a true companion, the lack of pride from the one you love. When women stop supporting, it may stem from the fact that she no longer feels interested in your future or no longer sees herself as an important part of your life. The lack of encouragement from your partner not only makes you lose confidence, but also makes you gradually lose connection with her. You begin to wonder if you still matter in her eyes, if she still cares about your growth and success. For a man, the support of the woman he loves is extremely powerful. It can give you the motivation to overcome challenges in work and life. But when this no longer exists, you will feel like you have lost a large part of your motivation, an important part of yourself. Questions like, does she still care about what I do? Am I still an inspiration to her? Will always be present in your mind. She may have been the first person you wanted to share with when you had a new achievement, but now you find yourself hesitant, even unwilling to tell her. Why? Because you know that the response will only be superficial words, or worse, she won't even bother to pay attention? This not only hurts you, but also makes you feel worthless in her eyes. This lack of support is a strong sign that feelings are fading. You need to understand that love is not just about the initial romantic feelings, but also about companionship, encouragement, and respect for each other. If a woman no longer finds interest in your success or failure, then that relationship is truly on the verge of breaking down. And what you need to do is seriously look at everything. Talk frankly with her to see if you can regain the lost connection. Sign 6. Increased criticism and dissatisfaction. One of the clearest signs that she has fallen out of love with you is when she starts criticizing you more, not just about big things, but also about small details in life. If she frequently complains or criticizes things, like the way you dress, the way you use your phone, or even the way you do everyday tasks, this may reflect a deep disappointment that she is feeling. This is not just petty criticism, but dissatisfaction that has accumulated over time. When a woman starts criticizing constantly, it may be her way of releasing negative emotions that she cannot express in any other way. Small criticisms can stem from disappointment not only with you, but also with the relationship itself. She no longer sees you as a source of inspiration, no longer sees the positive qualities in you as she once did. Instead, every action, every habit of yours becomes annoying in her eyes. You need to understand that this criticism is not a call for you to change to save the relationship, but sometimes it is just an expression of a loss of respect. When she criticizes the way you dress, it may not be because you dress badly, but because she no longer feels proud of you. When she criticizes the way you use your phone, it may not be because you use your phone too much, but because she feels neglected and no longer sees the value of the connection between the two of you. Constant criticism can also be her unconscious way of pushing you away. When she no longer wants to be close and build a relationship, she can create a stressful environment so that you automatically feel uncomfortable and want to leave. This helps her avoid having to directly confront ending the relationship, because this way, you will be the one who actively makes the decision to leave. If you notice criticism becoming frequent and beyond the normal level, recognize it as a sign that the relationship is deadlocked. Don't see those criticisms as just minor issues that can be ignored. These are signals of a bigger problem: loss of connection, loss of respect, and may be a sign that she is looking for a way to end things. Instead of responding to criticism with anger or trying to change yourself to please her, take the time to reevaluate the relationship. Does she still want you to change because she loves you, or is she simply out of love and looking for a way out? You may need a frank conversation to understand the state of the relationship and see if there is anything that can be saved. Sometimes, facing the painful truth is the best way for you to free both of you and find your own happiness. Don't let yourself fall into a situation of being constantly criticized without knowing the real reason behind it. Be brave to see and act accordingly, because you deserve a relationship where both feel respected and loved. Love doesn't always last forever, and sometimes ending is inevitable. The important thing is that you need to be aware of the signs so you don't get stuck in an unhappy relationship. Bravely facing the truth is the only way to help you find yourself and find true happiness. Remember that ending is not always a failure. It can be the beginning of a new journey where you learn to appreciate yourself more, know how to love yourself, and set new standards for future love. When you recognize these signs, be proactive in talking to her. asking frankly about the feelings of both of you. Let's see if the relationship can be saved. But if the answer is no, be strong so that both of you can move on with your lives. Every relationship gives us invaluable lessons. No matter how it ends, look back to understand that we have had happy moments and times of hurt. All of that helps you to grow, to adjust your expectations, and to find ways to become a better version of yourself. Don't be afraid of change. Don't be afraid of loss. Always believe that when you are willing to improve and love yourself, true love will come, and you will deserve it. Finally, if she doesn't love you anymore, let her go and spend time and effort on other, more worthy relationships. You deserve a sincere love, a woman who will cherish and love you for who you are. Don't be afraid of loneliness, because loneliness is sometimes the necessary silence for you to look back and prepare for your next love journey. Remember, love is a journey, and you deserve a companion who respects and loves you wholeheartedly. Never settle for half-hearted love, because you deserve better and a sincere, fulfilling relationship. Trust in yourself, and let true love come when you are ready and worthy of it.